When you meet eyes with the girl, and I've said this before in this podcast, but it bears repeating, don't be the one to look away first. So eye contact is really, really powerful. And if when you meet eyes with the girl, say at the nightclub, the bar, a party, wherever it is, you're the one who looks away first, it looks really cowardly. So something gangster you could do is, say you are walking through a mall or even Walmart or Target or a supermarket, you meet eyes with a girl, keep your eyes on her and just look at her. You could even smile if you want to, but what I like to do is just keep looking at her until she looks away. Looking away is submissive. You just kind of in a way dominated her, right? Which shows the masculinity.
The Unapologetic Man Podcast.
All right, guys, so I want first to talk a little bit about eye contact and how you can use your eyes to quote unquote seduce women. Something that a lot of people don't know, but I think a lot of you guys do instinctually, is you kind of squint your eyes a little bit when you're looking at a hot girl or when you're talking to a girl. And this is actually extremely attractive. The reason it's attractive is because it shows in human body language terms that you're discerning, that you're trying to figure something out, and it's just sexy to women for some reason. So rather than talking to a girl with like your eyes just regular, once in a while, kind of squint them a little bit like you're trying to figure her out. And if she's like, what are you doing? You'd be like, oh, nothing. And I do this oftentimes, like I'll look at her forehead and I'll be like, kind of squinting my eyes, like trying to figure something out. She'll be like, what? And it's kind of fucked up because it makes them a little bit insecure. And that's a little bit of a technique, but really just squinting your eyes a little bit, particularly when you meet eyes with a girl, like from across the bar. Let's say you're looking at her, she looks at you and you kind of squint a little bit, like you're Clint Eastwood about to gun down a bandito in one of his spaghetti westerns. It turns them on a lot because again, it's like you're discerning something, you're trying to figure her out. You're like that James Bond kind of vibe where you're like, little girl, I'm trying to get a read on you and I'm not quite sure. It really turns girls on. So squinting your eyes slightly, very attractive. Another thing, and this is so important, is when you meet eyes with the girl, and I've said this before in this podcast, but it bears repeating, don't be the one to look away first. I'm talking 10, 20, in 30 seconds. You have to keep looking at her. If you guys are, say, for example, walking towards each other, you make eye contact, you're at the mall or something, you have to be the one that keeps eye contact until she looks away. So eye contact, I've done podcasts about it, is really, really powerful. And if when you meet eyes with a girl, say at the nightclub, the bar, a party, wherever it is, you're the one who looks away first, it looks really cowardly. So something gangster you could do is, say you are walking through a mall or even Walmart or Target or a supermarket, you meet eyes with a girl, keep your eyes on her and just look at her. You could even smile if you want to, but what I like to do is just keep looking at her until she looks away. Looking away is submissive. You just kind of in a way dominated her, right? Which shows the masculinity. It's funny, they've done studies and guys who go to zoos will oftentimes make eye contact with like the silverback gorilla or a lion and stare at him until the lion looks away so they can feel good about themselves dominating this fucking poor silverback gorilla that's stuck behind bars, and then the guy can go home and feel good about himself. This is just human nature. It's animal nature, and women respond to it too. The next one is to give some good eye contact, but at the same time, don't forget to take it away. One thing I'll often do is when she's speaking about something boring, I'll kind of be looking around the room and even maybe turn my body language a little bit away in the way of like my head, right? So let's say I'm looking directly at you and we're talking and you bring up some negative shit. You start complaining about your boss, you start complaining about your life, whatever it is. I'll kind of like look away and pretend that something's distracting me and even maybe like turn my head a little bit like I'm just completely distracted. And this subliminally makes her feel like she has to chase after your attention, but also it punishes the bad behavior of her complaining. So you could use this very methodically to reward good behavior when she's talking about stuff that you really like. You gave good eye contact. When she's talking about stuff you don't like, you take away eye contact or even like maybe cross your arms, lean back, put distance between you and her to reward what you want and punish what you don't want. The next one I like to do is like look her up and down as she's talking to me. Like again, I was staring at her forehead or her hairline or wherever to kind of make her feel like this guy's judging me. This guy's kind of assessing me. Now, that automatically puts you in the selector mentality, doesn't it? She's the one submitting the application, which is why you're kind of looking at her with discerning eyes, which is why you're kind of looking her up and down. And you could even do it jokingly, but this communicates that you're the prize and she's the one submitting the application. Another one I like to do is when she says something, and I literally did this weekend, which made me think of this episode. She says something and I'll just look at her with my eyes and maybe like shake my head, like just be like, I cannot believe you said that, right? That look on your face, like, I can't even believe you just said that, but with no words. Don't underestimate the power of no response. Don't underestimate the power of facial expressions and eye contact. Where if she says something to you, something sexy or something like that, and you just look at her with those squinted eyes and then maybe like bite your lip a little bit and then just like shake your head and then like look away. She's like, what was that? It was like a push-pull with just your looks. And a push-pull is basically like half the time you're pushing her away, the other half the time you're pulling her in. So especially in like noisy places, nightclubs, bars, whatever, oftentimes just use looks. And this is really, really powerful if you can communicate your answer with a look. She's like, do you want to go, I don't know, do you want to go roller skating? And in your mind, you're like, brah, roller skating's so corny, dude. Like, what are we in 1990? But instead, you just look at her like she sprayed your face with shit mist. You're just like, what the fuck? And you don't say anything. You just look at her for a minute and then slowly you shake your head no, right? And then smile and push her and don't say anything. Very, very powerful. What's up, brother? Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. To watch the full podcast episode, click here. And before you go, if you're feeling extra generous, please like, comment, subscribe. It really helps me in the algorithm. I'd sincerely appreciate it. Unapologetic Army.